What will you have been doing for 5 years by next month?
I will have been teaching English for 5 years by next month.
Where will you have been living for the last decade?
I will have been living in Karachi for the last decade.
How long will you have been studying English before the test?
I will have been studying English for 6 months before the test.
What job will you have been doing after graduation?
I will have been working as a teacher after graduation.
Why will you have been practicing speaking daily?
I will have been practicing speaking daily to improve my fluency.
What will he have been learning for 2 years by next summer?
He will have been learning French for 2 years by next summer.
Where will she have been working since 2020?
She will have been working in a hospital since 2020.
How long will they have been playing football before the competition?
They will have been playing football for 3 months before the competition.
What will it have been doing all night?
It will have been raining all night.
How long will John have been running before sunrise?
John will have been running for 2 hours before sunrise.
What will Mary have been studying before her exams?
Mary will have been studying biology before her exams.
How long will the students have been preparing for the annual event?
The students will have been preparing for 2 weeks for the annual event.
What will the workers have been building for 6 months?
The workers will have been building a new bridge for 6 months.
How long will the children have been playing outside before lunch?
The children will have been playing outside for an hour before lunch.
What will your friend have been doing for the past few years?
My friend will have been managing his own business for the past few years.
How long will she have been driving before reaching the city?
She will have been driving for 4 hours before reaching the city.
Where will they have been living after moving from Lahore?
They will have been living in Islamabad after moving from Lahore.
What will the teacher have been teaching for 10 years?
The teacher will have been teaching grammar for 10 years.
How long will your team have been training before the match?
My team will have been training for 3 months before the match.
What will he have been fixing in the workshop all day?
He will have been fixing bikes in the workshop all day.
How long will the company have been producing this model by 2030?
The company will have been producing this model for 10 years by 2030.
What will your parents have been doing since morning?
My parents will have been cleaning the house since morning.
How long will you and your brother have been working on this project?
We will have been working on this project for a week.
What will the farmer have been growing during this season?
The farmer will have been growing wheat during this season.
How long will she have been waiting for the bus before it arrives?
She will have been waiting for 20 minutes before it arrives.
What will the chef have been cooking before the guests arrive?
The chef will have been cooking dinner before the guests arrive.
How long will the students have been studying before the holidays?
The students will have been studying for 3 months before the holidays.
What will you have been planning for the next year?
I will have been planning a new business for the next year.
How long will he have been reading that book before finishing it?
He will have been reading that book for 2 weeks before finishing it.
What will she have been painting by the end of the week?
She will have been painting a landscape by the end of the week.
How long will your friend have been staying in London before returning?
He will have been staying in London for a year before returning.
What will they have been talking about during the meeting?
They will have been talking about the new project during the meeting.
How long will your family have been living in this house by next June?
My family will have been living in this house for 10 years by next June.
What will the team have been doing since early morning?
The team will have been practicing since early morning.
How long will the engineer have been designing the bridge before approval?
The engineer will have been designing the bridge for months before approval.
What will the cat have been doing all afternoon?
The cat will have been sleeping all afternoon.
How long will the students have been learning English before graduation?
The students will have been learning English for 4 years before graduation.
What will the company have been developing for the next launch?
The company will have been developing a new phone for the next launch.
How long will the doctor have been treating patients before retirement?
The doctor will have been treating patients for 30 years before retirement.
What will the artist have been creating by the end of the month?
The artist will have been creating a new sculpture by the end of the month.
How long will the bus driver have been driving before reaching Lahore?
The bus driver will have been driving for 5 hours before reaching Lahore.
What will your cousin have been doing abroad for so long?
My cousin will have been studying abroad for so long.
How long will they have been discussing the issue before making a decision?
They will have been discussing the issue for hours before making a decision.
What will your uncle have been doing in Dubai for the past decade?
My uncle will have been working in Dubai for the past decade.
How long will she have been teaching children before joining the college?
She will have been teaching children for 5 years before joining the college.
What will your team have been researching this year?
My team will have been researching new technology this year.
How long will the gardener have been watering the plants before sunset?
The gardener will have been watering the plants for an hour before sunset.
What will the workers have been repairing before the manager arrives?
The workers will have been repairing the road before the manager arrives.
How long will your sister have been studying medicine before graduation?
My sister will have been studying medicine for 6 years before graduation.
What will they have been doing at the factory all day?
They will have been producing goods at the factory all day.
How long will your parents have been living in Canada before retirement?
My parents will have been living in Canada for 15 years before retirement.
What will the students have been practicing for the annual event?
The students will have been practicing a drama for the annual event.
How long will your brother have been playing cricket before joining the club?
My brother will have been playing cricket for years before joining the club.
What will the baby have been doing since morning?
The baby will have been sleeping since morning.
How long will the scientist have been researching this topic by next year?
The scientists will have been researching this topic for 3 years by next year.
What will the singer have been performing on stage for the festival?
The singer will have been performing her new songs on stage for the festival.
How long will the team have been working on the design before submission?
The team will have been working on the design for a month before submission.
What will your friend have been learning online for a few months?
My friend will have been learning digital marketing online for a few months.
How long will the teacher have been preparing lessons before the class?
The teacher will have been preparing lessons for an hour before the class.
What will they have been building near the river for a year?
They will have been building a bridge near the river for a year.
How long will your aunt have been living alone before moving to your city?
My aunt will have been living alone for 3 years before moving to my city.
What will the students have been writing before the final exam?
The students will have been writing essays before the final exam.
How long will the car mechanic have been repairing vehicles before lunch?
The car mechanic will have been repairing vehicles for 3 hours before lunch.